Well, spring has sprung. Well, it's March and we need to start thinking about spring and summer sewing. So I've decided to have a look at linens. Hi there, I'm Christine the Gemini Stitcher and welcome to my sewing space. If you're new to my channel, thanks for joining in. I do vlogs twice a week and they're all sewing related. So yes, looking out of the window over there, it looks like it's going to try and snow again, but spring is on the way. The snowdrops are pushing through and it's time to start thinking about spring and summer sewing. Well, it is for me anyway. I like to get ahead of the game and get a few of the garments under my belt before the weather turns warmer. And I've been down a little rabbit hole, if I'm honest. I decided that I wanted to do a capsule linen collection for the spring and summer this year. I love linen fabrics. My favourite is a viscose linen because it doesn't crease as much, and that's a winner, isn't it? Because linen can be an absolute mare to get the creases out of when it's been washed. So viscose linen is my go-to linen fabric. And I had a few already in my stash. But in my wardrobe, not many linen garments, strangely. So I thought it was time to do a full-on viscose linen capsule wardrobe. So I've pulled out the fabrics that I've got in my stash and that was my starting point. So let's have a look at the fabrics I already have. Apologising now if some of these are a little bit creased, but they're straight out of my stash this morning. This one is gorgeous and I got this from Cool Crafting at the Festival of Quilts last July. I got 3 meters of it. It's a lovely floaty lightweight viscose linen fabric and it's got, shall we call that, caramel cream and a little bit of burnt orange in the centre of those flowers. So that was one fabric that I'd already got and I've got 3 meters of. This one, yes, it doesn't go with the other one, I know, but bear with me. It's a plain viscose linen. I got it from Jenny Stitches sometime last year, and when it arrived, as is the way sometimes, the colour in real life wasn't what I was expecting, so it's languished in my stash. I've got 1.5 meters of that, so that will make a really nice top, skirt or trousers. The third one that I've got in my stash is another plain. I picked this up in the bins at Abercarn's. I believe it's a viscose linen. I asked at the desk and they said it was, so you can only go off trust, can't you, when they're in the bins at Abercarn's. But it feels really nice. It's a khaki colour. And I've got a whopping 3 meters of this. So the sky's the limit with this. I could make a cord, I could make a skirt, I could make trousers. I might get skirt, trousers and a little top all out of it. We will see. So that's a khaki green viscose linen. And this last one is the one that set me on my capsule rabbit hole or journey. I've had this in my stash since last July at the Festival of Quilts again. Bought it from So Different and it is one of their original printed linens. Now I've got 2 meters of this one and this is the one that I used to try and expand my linen collection with plains and patterns and try and get them to work together so that I will have a summer linen capsule collection. So that was the guiding one for my collection. And already the khaki will go with it. The pink is a little bit bright, but it kind of blends. If I had a top in that and a skirt in that, I could get away with those together. That's a bit more pinky, that's a bit more plummy in there, but kind of go together. And then the khaki and the cream and caramel one would go together as well. So a pair of trousers and a top, dress, little jacket. So they're kind of working together, but I needed to bring them all. Those two go together and those two go together. But that doesn't make a capsule, that just makes two completely different outfits, doesn't it? So I went down a bit of a rabbit hole because I definitely want to use all 4 of these fabrics and I want to incorporate them into a capsule for the spring and summer. So I asked you all if you knew anywhere online last week where I was a one-stop shop that I could get my patterns and my plain linens from, and a couple of you mentioned Lamazi. Now, I've shopped at Lamazi before. I had checked them out, I think, when I first started ruminating about this, early January, and it was obviously a little bit too early to look at their linens. So I went back on and winner, chicken dinner, I got all my linen fabrics that I needed to go with the ones I've already got, all from Lamazi, all in one place. I got 3 meters of each of the fabrics, so let's have a look what yummy fabrics I've bought. The first one is a solid colour and they're calling this Dusky Plum. Oh, beautiful. And I picked this because it will go with my So Different tropical print. Hang on a sec. As you can see, these two are really good together. Chuffed bits with this Dusky Plum colour to go with my So Different expensive fabric. And I'm happy, they really work well together. So that was the starting point, we're getting there. I've got another plain other than khaki that will go with my tropical print fabric. But then I found this one. What do we think? Oh, again, it's a viscose linen. It's a little bit more lightweight than the solid colour, which is fine because it'll be for dresses and tops. Maybe a skirt, but look how well those two actually go together. So this has got the Dusky Plum colour in it. It's got purples and it's got some burnt oranges. The background is cream and they go together. So we're getting there. So because there was burnt orange in this, I then got another solid in their burnt orange colour. Now this isn't a colour I would normally choose, but now it's arrived, I actually quite like it. Not sure I'd wear it up near my face. Let me know what you think. Can I get away with that colour? It's not normally one I would choose, so we'll probably make skirts and trousers out of this. And a top out of that, or a dress with a matching jacket. But those two work really well together. Really pleased. But bringing in my stash fabric, it also works with the floral caramel and cream linen that I already had, because the centre of these flowers, don't know if you can see, has got a little touch of burnt orange in. So they will work together as well. So it's all sort of bringing things cohesive, that's the word. A cohesive linen capsule wardrobe, get me. So that one works with it. If you wanted to go plain and plain, look how well they look together. The khaki and the burnt orange. Top, trousers, or the other way around. That could work. So I thought I need to balance out my solids and my patterns, so I found another pattern fabric. Look at that. Oh, that is absolutely beautiful. Viscose linen again, nice and lightweight, quite floaty, goes really well with the burnt orange, really good. And it also goes really well with the pink. Now when I put this next to this, it now looks purpley to me, not pink. It's a really funny colour. But again, they go together. So I'm getting my fabrics working together. So the last fabric that I got from Lamazi, it kind of goes, well it does, because it's quite a neutral oatmeal-y colour. Can I call it oatmeal? Oatmeal and cream. And if I get up close, hopefully you can see it's a jacquard weave, so it's got a floral pattern woven into it, and I just thought for something a little bit more neutral, that is going to work. So I could make a pair of trousers and a bright top, a little plain jacket that will go over any dresses that I make. So it will go with everything that's in the capsule. And again, I got 3 meters of that. So they're my fabrics. Then I had to decide on patterns. Now, I've really tried to use patterns I've already got in my stash, and I've pulled them all out. So let me know what you think of my pattern plans. Now I've got more patterns than I've got fabric because I got carried away. I pulled them all out and I need to hone it down. So let me know. Ideally, I want to try and get out of all this fabric 2 pairs of trousers, 2 pairs of shorts, 2 sun tops, strappy tops, 2 blouses, 2 skirts. I'm on 10 garments already. 2 dresses and a couple of jackets. So will I get 14 garments out of the fabric? Now I've just totted it up and I have got a whopping 21 meters of fabric. 21 meters. So logically I should get 14 garments out of it, shouldn't I? Let's talk about the patterns I've pulled out of my stash that potentially will work for my linen capsule. So the first little group, I've split them into 2, and one group is holiday clothes and the other is seasonal, wear at home, take on holiday clothes, if you know what I mean. So let's have a look at the holiday clothes. The first one I want to try and make is the Bison's dress from Maison Fauve. I love the pleat detail around the neck. It's pleated at the front and the back. I made this as a top last year and wore it loads, so I fancied making the dress. Indeed, I did try and make the dress, and I made it in some pink gingham and just gave up on it because I looked like a schoolgirl in it. So a plain linen for this dress is what I'm thinking. So holiday garment number 1. Holiday garment number 2 is one I've never made before. So this is the second one that I've not made. Oh, It's the Atelier Jupe Lin Caftan. Now, I know Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door loves this dress, and that was my inspiration for buying it, but why have I not made it? I don't know. And one made in a light floaty linen would be to die for. So that's going to be made up in one of the Lamazi linen fabrics, hopefully. Holiday outfit number 3 is another Naughty Not Made one, and it is the Andy set from Swim Style Patterns. I love the top, and I wasn't sure about the skirt, but I'm embracing skirts this year, so this is going to get made up. Now, whether it all gets made in the same, or I do a plain skirt and a patterned top, or the other way around, I've not decided yet, but it does use quite a chunk of fabric as well, so we'll see how we get on with that one. Next holiday garment I want to make more of is the Skirts pattern. This was a free pattern from Mood Fabrics. I made one last summer when I went on holiday and I loved it to bits. So definitely want to make at least one pair of skirts. My favourite sleeveless top. I will definitely be making one of these in linen. I've already got one in a linen fabric and I want to make another one. So this is the Archipel top from Atelier Scammit. Absolutely love it. It's fully lined and it's just a stunning make, satisfying, really good finish. So that is definitely going to be in my linen capsule collection. So this next one was gifted to me from Karen Clemson, so thank you, Karen. I am actually going to use this pattern, and it's the Quiller, is that how we say it, top from Fibre Mood, and it's a stunner of a top with pleats detail in the sides. Hopefully you can see it a little bit better on the line drawings. So it has elastic under your arm, which will make it lovely and comfortable, and gathers. I thought they were pleats, it's not, it's just gathered under the arm area, and a cute little tank top with a difference. So want to try one of those in one of my linens. That's the holiday wear done and dusted, because I don't need loads of it. They last forever, don't they? Shorts are shorts. They don't go out of fashion. Well, not for me anyway. So that's where I'm at with my holiday wear. Just one dress, a co-ord set, and a few bits and bobs, and I'll be happy with that. Because I don't want these linens to just come out when I go on holiday. I want to wear them all summer at home as well. So let's have a look at my plans for, or ideas for, what garments I want to make that I will wear at home and on holiday. We'll start with the tops. The first one is the Gilbert top from Helen's Closet. Made a couple of these, 2-3 years ago now, when the pattern first came out, and then I've never gone back to it. So I quite fancy making a short sleeved linen one, so like the one there, with the tie at the front, and I think it will look really nice cinched in, define my waistline with a pair of wide leg linen trousers. So that one is definitely on my radar. The next top that I want to make is an old favourite of mine. It is the Vetiver top or blouse from French Navy. It has princess seams down the front, boxy finish, with a cute frill along the bottom edge. Now, I made one of these with a pair of the Atlas trousers and they looked stunning together, so that's still in my head to maybe replicate again. But Vativa blouse, really good staple summer blouse pattern. The third blouse that I might make is the one that I've made recently, and it's the Zamora blouse from Itch to Stitch. Want to make a short sleeve version of this in a plain linen so that you can see the pleat detail and the cute bow on the front. I think will elevate it and make it more wearable in the day and transition into evening wear as well with the bow on the front. So that's on my radar. So there's 3 blouses. I need to choose 2 of them because I'm only making 2 for my capsule, so I'll have a think about that one. I'll have to relegate one back into my pattern stash. Let's move on to trousers now. I think I've got a few of these to whittle down. But the first ones I've already mentioned was the Atlas pants from Style Arc Patterns. They have an amazing twisted pleat detail down the front. Now, I made these in a lyocell twill in blue. They looked stunning, but they crease like buggery. So I'm thinking I can make them again in a viscose linen. They'll keep the crease because of the linen in it, and the viscose will hopefully stop them creasing up as much. So really want to make the Atlas pants. The next ones are the Pietra pants from Closet Core Patterns. Now, I made these as part of my beginner sew along that I did last year, and I'll pop the link to the sew along for these if you're interested in watching that. Love them. Only ever made them as crops, and I kind of want to make them as a long trouser for the spring. They have a flat front and an elasticated back on the waist, which makes them perfectly comfortable, great for day wear. So Pietras are on my radar, and they do them as shorts as well. So maybe I might squeeze a pair of shorts out of my holes out of that pattern as well. So that's 2 pair of trousers. The third one on my radar is my pearl pants that I have now mastered, and I've made a couple of winter pairs and I want to make some linen ones for the spring and summer. Now, the zip on these is at the back, which is a little bit tricky for me with it being an invisible zip, so I either change it to a standard zip, which will be easier to pull up and down, or I move it to a side zip. But I can't leave it as an invisible zip at the back, but I do want to make the pearls, and I might make the Bermuda shorts in that as well, because I've made 1 pair as a co-ord set for the cruise last year. Quite fancy making another one of those sets. So pearl pants on my radar. And the last trouser pattern is an oldie but goodie. It's the Mitchell pants from Closet Core Patterns. Absolutely love these trousers. I've made 3 pairs of them, and the first pair I made were in 100% linen. Now, the linen I got, 1, creased like buggery, and 2, it was really stiff, and no amount of washing and softening has changed it. I do wear those trousers, but they're a little bit cardboardy. So I fancy making them again, but in a viscose linen. Now I know viscose linen works better for me for trousers. More floaty, but holds the crease. Perfect fabric. So yeah, Mitchell's, maybe. Let's move on to dresses. Now, I've got a lot of dresses, particularly summer dresses, in my wardrobe, but I've only got a couple that are actually linen, and they don't go with this capsule, and that's my excuse to make a couple more dresses. So what patterns I'm going to choose the dresses from? This first one is from Style Arc. It's the Gertrude designer dress out of my naughty not used pattern stash. Now it is, you see from the line drawings, quite a structured fitted top, but then release pleats at the waist make the skirt a bit fuller, if you get what I mean, and makes it really interesting. So I quite fancy making that in a plain linen or a solid linen so that it emphasises the design features in the dress, and I think it will look stunning. Dress number 2. If you follow me, you won't be surprised at this one. It's the Ladera dress from Itch to Stitch. Now, I've made this in a viscose twill and I've made it in a chambray, and I want one in linen. I think in a patterned linen, that is going to look absolutely stunning. Easy breezy, but smart looking as well for the spring. So that is on my radar. And the last dress that I need to choose from is one I've wanted to make again for quite a while now. It's the Closet Core Joe dress. It's been out for a good while. Lots of design features in these. It's got beautiful, they call them croissant sleeves, which are absolutely stunning. Lots of bias binding, lots of work. And I just fancy making that dress, probably in one of the patterned fabrics maybe, with a plain binding on it, or the other way around, and do it in plain with pattern, or do a bit of colour blocking. Get me? We will see, but I'd quite like to revisit the Joe dress. Now, skirts. I don't have many skirt patterns, but I'm going to try the one on the Andy's set from Swim Style Patterns and see how I get on with that one. The other one, but I will definitely do a toile with that. And then the other one that I'm going to revisit is one I've made recently, and it is the Cubrada skirt from Itch to Stitch. I made that in a moleskin, very similar to the picture. Absolutely love it to bits. If you want to see how that one turned out, I'll pop the link to the vlog below, because I've done a reveal of a full outfit including that skirt the other week, and I want to revisit it and do a summer version of it in one of my solid linen fabrics. They're all the garments I want to make, but there's just one more key garment that I need to do to bring all that capsule together, and it's a quilted jacket. But it's a quilted jacket with a difference. I want to hold some of each of the fabrics back so that I can incorporate them all into the one quilted jacket. Now, Cami Maid has one. It's not the style of jacket that I want to make, but it'll give you an idea of what I'm trying to create. I'll put some images up here. So she's done it all in quilted squares, all in fabrics that are harmonised together. How gorgeous does that look? Now, I'm going to fess up now. This was not my original idea out of my own head, even by finding that pattern. The amazing Kathy, who runs a social that I go to, did something similar last year, and I did tell her, next spring I'm going to be copying you because that is an amazing idea. So she had about 5 fabrics and she made some garments with it, dresses, trousers, tops, and then incorporated them all into the jacket. So the jacket went with all the garments that she made. Now, being me, I've taken it one stage further and decided that I want to make a whole capsule wardrobe, but I do want to do that jacket. So watch this space and see how I get on with my capsule wardrobe and that quilted jacket to bring it all together and make the capsule really work for me. Wowza. So there we go. What do you think? Am I crazy? 14 garments, all out of linen. Do you think I can do it? Only time will tell. Clearly, I'm not going to be doing much other sewing through the spring and summer. It's all going to be viscoses and linens. But I have got some very nice viscose fabric that I want to incorporate as well. But I'm going to focus on the linens, get those underway, and we'll see how we get on. And fingers crossed, I'll end up with a beautiful viscose linen capsule collection to wear that will go with each other and with other garments that I've already got in my wardrobe for the spring and summer months. Let me know whether you're planning on doing any sewing with linen. Have you bought fabrics from Finalizing before and what do you think of them? I'm totally impressed. I've bought from them a few times and never had a problem, but I've got to say this order came super quick. I placed the order on Monday first thing. Tuesday I got a message saying it was on the way and it arrived Wednesday. So 2 days, bish bash bosh, I got my fabric, and that is brilliant for online. I'm really pleased with all the fabrics. They've come and they are the colours that I thought they were going to be, which is the next really difficult thing, isn't it? And that's why I got all my linens and my solids, patterns and solids, all from the same place so that I could look at them on the images in the hope that they were all taken on the same camera and the images are gonna sort of match. Even if the colours aren't as bright or as dark as I thought they were, they will still go together, if that makes sense. And that logic has worked. I'm happy with them all. I've not had to scrat around taking scraps of fabric to all the different shops to try and get matches. It's just all been done. One-stop shop is definitely the way to go if you're looking for a capsule collection. So wish me luck. Let me know what you're planning for spring and summer, and if there's any patterns you think I need to look at and incorporate into my plans. So I'm going to love you and leave you now. Tidy up my mess that I've made, because unlike Andrea from Beyond the Pink Door, I don't have a little helper who puts everything away for me. I was watching her on Sunday and I thought, I need one of those people to put everything back when I finished vlogging. So I'm going to tidy up now and start planning and whittle down my patterns. Let me know which ones you think I should make, or as I've already said, if there's any patterns that's out there that you think I would like to incorporate into my collection. Thanks for watching. If you've enjoyed, give it a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe. Come and join the Crazy Sewing Gang, and I will see you all on Thursday. Bye.